Clear, sir.
वेरी गुड बेटा, वेरी गुड। अब जो पहली चीज़ मैं आपको दिखाने जा रहा हूँ वो है हमारा चार्टवर्क पेपर का एग्जामिनेशन फॉर्मेट। आपने अभी तक किसी भी सब्जेक्ट का एग्जाम फॉर्मेट देखा है बेटा?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which subject have you seen?
Sir, cargo work, metallurgy, these all papers. We already seen this format, sir.
Okay. And Chartwork you have not seen yet?
Not it, sir.
Okay, beta. So fasten your seat belts. Let's go.
Okay, sir.
Okay, beta. So this what you can see on your screen right now is the examination format for Chartwork. The name of our subject is Terrestrial and Coastal Navigation. Now this paper is obviously based on a chart. So you will be given one particular chart. The number will be mentioned here on which this paper is to be done. And one question is on tides, for which they provide us Admiralty tide tables for 1992. When we are solving these questions, we will require ship speed. We may require the height of eye of the observer for some questions. I will tell you where all these are required. We may require the variation, and we will also require a deviation card. So all these items are provided to us in the MMT. Our paper is of 3 hours duration. The maximum number of marks are 200, and for passing we need to have 140 marks. So how much passing percentage is required, beta?
70%.
Very good. Have you appeared in any exam till now where 70%, more than 70% passing is required? School, college, pre-C, anywhere?
Pre-C, sir.
Pre-C, sir.
More than 70%? Which subject?
Sir, Navigation 1 and Navigation 2.
Both are 70?
Yes, sir.
More than 70, any subject? Navigation is 70, Chartwork is 70, more than 70. Anybody appeared in any examination, school, college, university, competitive exam? No one. So 70% is the highest percentage you have got till now, and also you are going to get in the future. इससे ज़्यादा पासिंग परसेंटेज आपको और किसी सब्जेक्ट में नहीं मिलेगी till the time you go up to masters ASM. So make sure that you are thorough with the subject because the passing percentage is high. I wanted to emphasize this because you should know how difficult it is to pass through these exams. Once you know that, half the battle is already won. Anyway, let's proceed ahead. Now our paper is divided into 2 parts. You see part A. In part A, we have 4 questions. All these 4 questions are based on the chart. A chart will be provided to you. So question number 1 is on passage planning. You will have to do passage planning on the chart exactly as you do on boat. So most of the people will be practically doing it on EGDIS nowadays. So this has to be done on a paper chart. So this is passage planning. Then question number 2, 3 and 4 are based on chart plotting. Different methods, different techniques with which we plot on the chart. What are these different methods and techniques? They are mentioned here. We will be covering them one by one. Running fix, fixing position using 3 bearings, 3-point bearing, horizontal sextant angle, raising and dipping of lights, first sighting, last sighting, allowing and counteracting current, tidal stream, wind, leeway, and so on. Don't get confused with these terms. We will understand them one by one. So these questions are based on the methods which are mentioned here. This is part A of our paper. All these 4 questions are 30 marks each. And question number 1, which is on passage planning, is a compulsory question. You cannot leave it in choice. And out of the remaining 3, you have to attempt any 2 questions. So there is 1 choice in the plotting questions. So any doubt up to here, beta?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Very good. Great.
No, sir.
सर
बोलो जी.
सर जैसे क्वेश्चन 1 इज कंपलसरी है, कोई अगर ऐसा बच्चा हो जो उसको अटेम्प्ट ही ना करे और बाकी सब पूरा पेपर अच्छा कर दे, फुल मार्क्स आए बाकी क्वेश्चंस में, तो वो फेल हो जाएगा क्या?
नहीं बेटा, इसके नंबर चले जाएंगे क्वेश्चन के, एंड द पेपर चेकर विल हैव ए रॉन्ग इम्प्रेशन इन हिज माइंड कि भाई ये बच्चे ने कंपलसरी क्वेश्चन छोड़ दिया है. बट इट इज़ नॉट दैट कि अगर कंपलसरी क्वेश्चन आप छोड़ दो तो ही विल स्ट्रेट अवे फेल यू. नो, he will check your remaining paper. If you have done your remaining paper well, you can pass.
ओके सर.
Okay. Now coming to the second part of the paper, beta. Question number 5 is on day's work. Again 30 marks. Question number 6 is on great circle sailing, plain sailing or Mercator sailing. Again 30 marks. Question number 7 is on tides, tidal calculation, 30 marks. Question number 8 is on chart correction or chart symbols or other theory related question, 20 marks. All these 4 questions are compulsory. There is no choice. So this is part B of our paper. So I hope you have understood the complete format of the paper. Any doubts you have anywhere in this exam format, just let me know.
Sir, we have
Total,
to attempt part A and part B separately. Will we get separate copies or in a single copy we'll have to attempt these questions?
Single copy, beta.
so we have to done 7 question full paper.
That's right, beta. 7 questions in the full paper.
Okay, sir. और पार्ट 1 में से एक छोड़ सकते हैं, बस कोई सा भी 1 को छोड़ के.
Yes, out of 2, 3 and 4 you can leave any one question. Okay. So अब हम जो शुरू करने वाले हैं बेटा, the thing which we are going to start now is this part. So जो part A आप देख रहे हो, let me erase all these lines. So this is the part which we are going to start right now. So total 90 marks का जो पेपर है इस पे बेस्ड होगा जो हम अभी करने वाले हैं. So that's why I'm picking up this portion of the Chartwork paper. Okay. Now exam format is very important because it gives you a clear-cut picture, a good idea of what we are going to do and how is it going to help us in our final exam. So once you have this idea, now we are all ready to jump into the Chartwork basics. So shall we move on to the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, sir.
Okay. Now, before I go into the presentation, beta, the materials which we will require is we should have a set of charts available with us. I had sent you the numbers on WhatsApp also. I sent you a PDF sheet where all the chart numbers are mentioned. All my assignments are based on chart number 5048. So 5048 चार्ट पे सारी की सारी असाइनमेंट मैंने उसी चार्ट पे बनाई हैं, so that you can practice it on one single chart. Once these questions, these assignments are done, after that you can pick up any questions from your past papers and you can practice them. That's why I recommend that you should have a set of all the charts with you. Before you go to MMD, you should be familiar with all the charts little bit. Second thing which you will require other than the charts are the plotting tools. So you need to have a parallel ruler, or if somebody is using set squares, or if somebody is using sliding ruler, though it is not recommended. So वो होना चाहिए आपके पास. Pencil box, compass, divider, pencil, eraser, these things. Either AD or 360 degree round may be required sometime. Most of the time हमारा compass rose जो चार्ट पे बना होता है उससे हमारे angles की जो plotting है वो हो जाती है. So these are the items which you require. You need a scientific calculator and you need a separate notebook for chart work. This is what we all need. So I hope either you have all these items already, or if not, then you will be able to source them in a week or so by this weekend.
We have it.
Very good, beta. So let's go into the presentation now. Let me set up the presentation.
Yes, sir.
So we are going to start off with terrestrial navigation or chart work in this presentation. Now, before we begin the actual chart work, let's go through some basic general instructions. Now, what I have tried in these presentations is that I'm picking up the chart work topics right from the basics. The intention is that one, there should not be any doubt left in your mind. And secondly, even if you have forgotten the chart work which you did during the previous grades, so it should not cause any difficulties to you. So we are starting right from scratch, right from the basic, so much so that even if a pre-C candidate goes through the presentation, he should be able to easily pick up and understand these chart work procedures. So I'm not leaving anything to chance, starting from the basics. Now, these general instructions are important because many a times when you appear in MMD papers, sometimes you feel that you have done your paper well, but even then the marks which you are getting or the result which you get is not up to your expectations. Now that could happen because of not following these small things which may lead to reduction in marks. So let us go through these general instructions first. Now, when you start your chart work, you see the charts which are there in the MMD, they are used by the candidates batch after batch. So you may have some old lines or markings on the chart. You should erase, first of all, before starting any work on the chart, you should check if there are any lines or markings, and you should erase all these lines and markings. Because once you have made your plots, these unnecessary lines or markings could make your plot confusing and difficult for the examiner to understand. So erase all the old lines from the chart before starting the work, including all markings. There may be markings along the latitude and longitude scales. There may be markings along the compass roses. So erase everything. We use a 2B pencil for Chartwork that gives us the required darkness, as well as it is soft, so it does not damage the chart. Use good quality tools. Use a good quality eraser. The tools which you are using, which could be parallel rulers or set squares, sliding rollers, any other tool which you are using, prefer or recommended to use transparent tools. The transparent tools allow you to see what is behind the parallel ruler or sliding ruler or set square. It does not hide any markings. So opaque tools obscure the information, and it may be a difference between doing a question right or wrong. And during a MMD paper, time is of paramount importance. So if you are not able to see clearly the information on the chart because of the opaque tools, that may lead to some errors creeping in your calculations. Now, to increase the accuracy of your plots, we can follow some of these instructions. It is recommended to measure all the bearings and courses by using the nearest compass rose. Avoid using the angle markings on the parallel ruler.
Now, beta, any doubts up to here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Well understood.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Though these angle markings are provided, they are given there. But as far as accuracy is concerned, the accuracy of these angle markings is much, much lesser. So at least for exam purpose, we should rely on using the compass rose, not these markings on the parallel ruler or set squares. Even when you are transferring the courses or bearing lines from the compass rose, or you are drawing parallel lines, if it is possible, prefer using the same edge of the parallel ruler, because using different edge also could bring in some amount of error in your plots. Now, when you are plotting a certain point on the chart, or you are measuring the latitude and longitude of a certain position, it is always better to use the nearest parallel of latitude and the nearest meridian, or if you are measuring a course or a bearing, it is recommended to use the compass rose with the help of the parallel ruler. Avoid using a compass or divider for these purposes.
Any doubts up to here, beta?
ये सेम
सर
एज ऑफ द रूलर बताना सर.
Ask again, beta.
सर ये यूजिंग द सेम एज ऑफ द पैरेलल रूलर मतलब ये.
Okay, beta.
बेटा मान लो कोई लाइन है हमारे चार्ट पे, आपने उससे पैरेलल एक दूसरी लाइन खींचनी है, तो हम पैरेलल रूलर को यूज़ करते हैं, करेक्ट?
यस सर।
नाउ यू हैव द ऑप्शन, पैरेलल रूलर के दो एज हैं, इफ इट इज़ वर्टिकल इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, एक राइट साइड में एज है, एक लेफ्ट साइड में एज है। सो जस्ट टू मेंटेन इट्स एक्यूरेसी, अगर आप राइट साइड का एज यूज़ कर रहे हो, ऑलवेज यूज़ द राइट साइड एज, ओके, इट विल गिव यू लिटिल मोर एक्यूरेसी। नॉट दैट लेफ्ट साइड का यूज़ करोगे तो क्वेश्चन गलत हो जाएगा, बट यू सी हर एक पैरेलल रूलर में थोड़ा सा प्ले होता है, सो दैट प्ले कुड बी डिफरेंट ऑन राइट साइड एंड लेफ्ट साइड, ओके। अगर आपको कहीं यूज़ करना हो आप लेफ्ट साइड भी यूज़ कर सकते हो, ऐसी कोई मनाही नहीं है बेटा, ओके। डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड बेटा?
यस सर।
वेरी गुड। दीपक हैज ए पैरेलल रूलर। दीपक यू आर
सर
लुकिंग
ये
ग्रेट।
वाला बोल रहे हो आप या ये वाला?
लंबा वाला बेटा, लंबा वाला एज यूज़ करते हैं हम।
ओके ओके सर, ठीक
सो
है।
अगर ऊपर वाला एज यूज़ कर रहे हो तो ऊपर वाला ही यूज़ करो, प्रेफर करो कि ऊपर वाला ही यूज़ करेंगे, दैट गिव्स यू लिटिल मोर एक्यूरेसी,
ओके सर।
ओके। लेट्स मूव
सर
अहेड।
ये जो लास्ट लास्ट वाला पॉइंट है, अवॉइड यूजिंग ए कंपास और डिवाइडर फॉर दिस पर्पस।
राइट। बेटा आपने
सर
पेपर चार्ट पे कई बार देखा होगा कि पोजीशन प्लॉट करने के लिए लोग क्या करते हैं, डिवाइडर उठाते हैं। पेपर चार्ट की बात कर रहे हैं बेटा, फॉरगेट अबाउट एक्डिस। लोग
यस सर।
डिवाइडर या कंपास उठाते हैं और लैटिट्यूड को साइड से मैयर करके फिर चार्ट में उसकी मार्किंग कर देते हैं। देखा आपने कभी ऐसा
यस सर।
करते हुए? इस चीज़ को अवॉइड करना है हमने अपने पेपर में। प्रैक्टिकली इफ़ यू आर डूइंग दैट इट इज़ ओके, बट अवॉइड डूइंग दैट इन द पेपर, क्योंकि जब आप कंपास या डिवाइडर को यूज़ करते हो बेटा, उसका नट थोड़ा टाइट या लूज भी हो सकता है, एंड आप जब ये ट्रांसफ़र कर रहे हो तो वो हिल सकता है, गिविंग यू ए एरर इन योर वर्किंग।
ओके सर, तो उसके लिए क्या करना है सर फिर?
पैरेलल रूलर यूज़ करना है बेटा। जो भी लैटिट्यूड हमने मार्क करना है, हमें पैरेलल रूलर अलाइन करके उस लैटिट्यूड पे लेके जाना है।
ओके सर, ओके। पहला रूलर से ही होगा सर, वो तो अच्छे से प्लॉट।
यस, दैट इज राइट बेटा।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
ओके, लेट्स प्रोसीड
सर
अहेड।
मैं बोल रहा था थोड़ा सा ना, हमारे बैच में ना सर,
हाँ बेटा।
थोड़ा सा ना सर आप हिंदी में बोल दीजिए सर, कि पूरा आप इंग्लिश बोलेंगे ना तो इनको तो हमको थोड़ा अच्छे से समझ में नहीं आता सर, तो
बेटा
थोड़ा थोड़ा सा ना
हाँ
हिंदी
हाँ
में बोल दीजिए सर। ऐसे ऐसे ही करना है, ऐसे ऐसे आप जो भी समझा रहे हैं वो समझ में आ रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है सर, बट थोड़ा सा बोल दीजिए सर, ज्यादा बेटर हो जाएगा सर।
बेटा मैं तो हिंदी पंजाबी दोनों में बोल सकता हूँ, बट क्या है कि हमारा ऑफिशियल मोड ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन जो है ना वो इंग्लिश है, सो मैं इंग्लिश में बोलूँगा, बट आई विल यूज़ वेरी सिंपल इंग्लिश, ओके। और तुम्हें जहाँ भी दिक्कत होगी बेटा, उसी स्लाइड पे मैं जब पूछूंगा ना डाउट्स क्या हैं, तुमने वहीं मुझे रोक देना है, ओके बेटा।
ओके सर जी।
अभी तक ठीक ठाक है ना?
हाँ सर, अभी तक ठीक है सर।
बस बढ़िया बेटा, ठीक ही रहेगा। For measuring of the latitude and longitudes, there is a tendency that if the compass and divider is too tight or too loose, so by the time you transfer it from the position to the latitude or longitude scale, the compass or divider may uh, uh, get disturbed and it may give you a wrong reading. Now, another very important thing for chart work is the use of proper symbols. Now, this is very important because when we make a plot on the chart, we are trying to communicate with the paper checker of what we have drawn on the chart. Usually the plot is not labeled. We do not write there that this is my course made good, this is my course steered, or this is the current. what we do is we use the symbols to denote all these quantities. So use of proper symbols is very, very important. So use appropriate symbols to indicate various parameters like the course steered, or CTS, which is course to steer, CMG, that is course made good, current, celestial position lines, transferred position lines, DR positions, estimated positions, and fixes. So let us see these symbols one by one now. So you can see the symbols on the right side of the screen. Let's go through these symbols one by one. So on top here, you see the symbols we used to mark a dead reckoning position or DR position. So that's a simple cross using a horizontal line and a vertical line along with the time mentioned. So this is the symbol we use for marking or plotting a dead reckoning position or DR position.
Go ahead, beta.
सर सॉरी टू डिस्टर्ब यू बट एक क्वेश्चन था सर, जो अब डेक रिकॉर्डिंग पोजीशन है सर, सो ये हमारी जो हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन है सर, ये हमारा कोर्स है, और वर्टिकल लाइन है ये हम लोग मार्क करेंगे। अगर हम लोग एक्स की तरफ मार्क कर दें सर, थोड़ा लिटिल बिट चेंज होगा तो ये गलत तो नहीं हो जाएगा?
No, beta, that is okay. You can mark the DR position as a X also. It is the second method, beta.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Let's move ahead.
The next symbol which you see is the symbol for a estimated position, in short also known as EP, Eco Papa. So we mark off a triangle with a dot in it, and the time is also mentioned here. So this is the symbol used for EP, estimated position. The third symbol which we see here is the symbol used to plot a fix. So we have a circle with a dot in the center representing the position, and you have the time mentioned here for which this position was applicable. So this is the symbol for a fix or a known position. Now, if you want to mark the fix obtained from an electronic device, say for example GPS or GLONASS, then it is represented by marking of a square with a dot in the middle, along with the time for which this fix or position was applicable. Then the next symbol which you see is the symbol used for the course steered. So whatever course the vessel has steered, we denote that by marking off a single arrow. So you see this single arrow. Along with the single arrow, we also mention what is the course which the ship is steering. So you see here in this particular case, 095 degrees true. That's the course steered. The next symbol which we see here is the symbol for course made good. So to represent the course made good, we denote it by double arrows. So you see double arrows marked on the course. That denotes it is the course made good. Along with it, we also mention what is the value of the course made good. The next symbol which we see here is the symbol for current. current is represented or marked using 3 arrows. So you see 3 arrows marked on the current vector. Along with it, we mention what is the set of the current or what is the direction in which it is taking us. These 3 are very, very important in chart work. Almost 90% of the chart work questions, they involve the concept of course, speed and current vector triangle. And all these 3 symbols are very frequently used there. That is the course steered, the course made good, as well as the current. Now the next symbol which we see is the symbol for marking a position line. So a position line could be a bearing from a particular object, say for example a lighthouse, or it could be a celestial position line. So it is marked by putting a arrow at the end of the line. If it is a bearing, the arrow will be only on one edge or one side of the line. But if it is a celestial position line, in that case you will have the arrows on both the sides of the line. Now this arrow at the end of a position line or PL indicates or denotes that it is not necessary that the vessel's position will lie on this line segment only. The vessel's position can be anywhere on the line extended on the side of the arrow. So this arrow represents the vessel's position could be anywhere when we extend the line in this particular direction. Now the next symbol which we see here is a transferred position line. What is a transferred PL? Now many a times we need to transfer our position lines from one time to another time. Let's say a PL was taken at morning 9 o'clock and we need to transfer it to 10 o'clock. So when we transfer a PL, it is represented by marking of double arrows on both the ends of the position line. So these double arrows indicate that this PL was not taken at this time. It was taken at a different time, but it has been transferred here for our use. So this is the symbol for a transferred position line. Now beta, the use of proper symbols in Chartwork plotting is, as I told you earlier, very, very important. If you have not shown proper symbols in your plot, the plot will be very, very confusing. It will be very difficult for the paper checker to understand what you have plotted. And the penalty imposed by him in way of cutting marks is also severe in the case. So even if you have done the question right, but the symbols are not there, you can lose almost more than 50% of the marks allotted to the question. So whenever you practice these Chartwork question, always remember to plot the correct symbols so that you form a habit of using these symbols whenever you plot.
Sir, one question, sir.
Go ahead, beta.
Sir, if we write like CMG instead of this symbol, course made good, I write that CMG on the chart. Will it be considered right or wrong?
No, beta, you will have to make the symbol. Writing is usually avoided on the chart. Reason is कि अगर हम हर एक चीज़ को लिखना शुरू कर देंगे तो हमारा जो चार्ट का प्लॉट है वो बहुत कंजस्टेड हो जाता है. सो इसलिए हम लिखते नहीं हैं, हम उसे सिंबल से ही शो करते हैं.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
और डाउट बताओ बेटा अभी तक।
Sir, is it right that while plotting course tiered, we use the reference of speed through water, and while course over ground, it is speed over ground?
दैट्स राइट बेटा। जो
Sir,
कोर्स
what
टियर
is the
होता है,
time,
जो हाँ मैं
speed
आपको
through?
डिटेल में बताऊंगा तीनों के बारे में। कोर्स टियर्ड, कोर्स मेड गुड और करंट, ये मैंने अभी आपको डिटेल में बताना है कि ये क्या होते हैं, पर जो आपने अभी बोला है दैट इज़ करेक्ट।
हाँ जी, just I wanted to know the reason behind that कि course to steer में why do we have that speed through water?
ओके, वी विल कम टू इट बेटा। जब हम ये ट्रायंगल बनाएंगे ना, कोर्स स्पीड एंड करंट वेक्टर ट्रायंगल, मैं ये चीज़ आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगा। ओके, और डाउट बताओ बेटा।
सर टाइम को इसी तरीके से डिनोट करना है जैसे लिखा हुआ है 0830।
बेटा और कौन से तरीके से डिनोट कर सकते हैं?
सर जैसे कि मैंने बताया था कि 08 ऐसे लिखना है और 30 जो है लाइक मिनट्स जो है वो ऊपर को लिखना है थोड़ा।
ओके, ऑल राइट बेटा।
और
आई
नीचे
वुड
एक डैश
रिकमेंड
मार के डबल डॉट।
आई वुड रिकमेंड टू कीप इट सिंपल। ओके, वैसे भी लिखा जाता है, यू आर राइट, सम पीपल राइट लाइक दैट to denote the hours and minutes separately, but I would recommend that you guys keep it simple and write it in a simple language.
Yes sir.
Okay, और डाउट बताओ बेटा। Okay, great, let's move ahead. Now, using wrong symbols or no symbols will result in a very confusing plot and certainly losing a lot of marks. As you have seen in the symbols, whenever we draw positions, whenever we mark or plot positions or position lines on the chart, it is always recommended to state the times when those positions or position lines were applicable. So as you see here, with every position the time is marked. With a PL also, it is recommended to mark off the time when that PL was applicable or effective. Now let's go a little bit into what is the method or procedure to solve any chart work or terrestrial navigation question. Now, the first important thing which we have to do here is to read the question very carefully. So read the question very carefully and write down the given data on the answer sheet. You don't need to write down the positions of lights. It is also mentioned in the question, the latitude and longitude. So that is just given for identification purpose. Now, once you have noted down all the data on your answer sheet, double check that you have not made any mistake in noting down any of the item. Once you have all the necessary data for working out the problem, you can start solving it or start using your brain how to proceed ahead. Now, for finding out the solution of a Chartwork question, it is not like celestial navigation question where you know that a certain formula is to be used. Let us say if you are solving a long by Cron question. Beta, have you done long by Cron in CellNav now or not yet?
Not yet.
No, sir.
Not
Oh.
yet.
नहीं सर
अभी नहीं हुआ।
ओके, प्रीसी का कुछ याद है बेटा?
नहीं सर।
हाँ थोड़ा सर।
थोड़ा बहुत याद है सर।
ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम, ठीक है बेटा, ऑल राइट। You know the formula, you pick up the data, apply it, and you get the answer. In Chartwork question, you have to find out what is the technique or method to be used in a particular question. So for that, it is very, very important to check what information is given, because the method which we use in Chartwork depends upon what all information is given to us. I will give you a simple example. Let's say they give you 3 bearings. In one question, all the 3 bearings are from a single object. If that is so, we use a different method. It is known as 3-point bearing or 3 bearing method. Now in the second case, they give you 3 bearings, but 2 of them are from a different object and the third one is from a different object. Now in this case, we will have to use a different method. So it is very, very important that we analyze the data carefully. What is provided, what information is provided to us. Now, once you have checked the data, then you can follow this short 1, 2, 3 method. Number 1 is understanding. So as I told you, you need to understand what data is provided. For understanding, it is very beneficial if you make a rough diagram. You can make this rough diagram on your answer sheet. It is not mandatory as far as the question solving is concerned, but this rough diagram helps you to understand how do we go ahead or what method do we use for solving a particular question. Because the data which is given to us in the question is in the text format. When you put it or convert it into a diagram format, it is very, very easy for the mind to understand that data. So making a rough diagram makes it very easy for us to find out what method we should be using here. So once the rough diagram is there and you know which method is to be used, so once that much clarity is obtained, you can go ahead and make your final plot on the chart. So remember, the question has to be solved in your mind first before you start solving it on the answer sheet. If you straight away try to jump on the chart, reading up the question from the question paper, trying to plot the required data on the chart straight away, you may get stuck in between and you may lose the track on which to proceed ahead.
Okay, so beta, let me know any doubt which you may have till now. I would recommend beta that you take a screenshot of this particular slide. So keep it safe on your device so that you can refer to it at a later stage also. The symbols are very, very important. So take a screenshot and keep it safe on your device. If you want, you can make these symbols noted down in your Chartwork notebook also in your notes.
Yes, sir.
सर विंड का कोई डायरेक्शन वो नहीं होता क्या सर सिंबल?
नहीं बेटा, हम लोग विंड को चार्टवर्क में शो नहीं करते हैं. विंड का जो इफेक्ट होता है उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं लीवे, उसको हम अप्लाई करते हैं.
ओके सर. तो पता कैसे चलेगा सर विंड का कि अपने कैसे किधर से आ रहा है और किधर इफेक्ट कर रहा है?
ओके, विंड किधर से आ रहा है ये हमें क्वेश्चन में दिया होगा और विंड
जी
हमें
डायरेक्शन तो दे दी सर.
राइट,
जी
और
वो
ये
तो
हमें कैसे इफेक्ट करता है वो हम सीखेंगे. अगली क्लास में मैं आपको विंड और करंट दोनों के बारे में बताऊंगा. तब आपको पता चलेगा कि हम विंड के इफेक्ट को कैसे कंसिडर करते हैं.
ओके सर. ओके सर. और उसी क्लास में सर वो पोजीशन लाइन वाला ही बता देना सर, जो डायरेक्ट जो मतलब उसके एज लास्ट एज पे जो एरो है ना सर, उसको कैसे, उसको बाद में एक्सप्लेन कर देना सर जब भी आप कराएंगे तब।
वो एरो कैसे ड्रॉ करते हैं या उसका मीनिंग क्या है?
नहीं सर, जैसे करंट कोर्स में गुड कोर्स स्टेट का तो समझ में आ
ओके
रहा है
ओके
सर,
ओके, हाँ हाँ।
लेकिन पोजीशन लाइन वाला ऐसे कि एक लाइन मार दी तो ल- जहां जहां से हम बेयरिंग ले रहे हैं या जहां से भी उसको मेजर कर रहे हैं तो उसके लास्ट एज पे मारना है या कैसे मारना है सर,
ओके
उसको शो
ओके
कैसे
बेटा,
करना
आई
है,
विल टेल
बस
यू,
वो वाला
डोंट वरी, आई विल टेल यू, डोंट वरी।
उसको थोड़ा ओके सर बता दें बात।
राइट, आई विल टेल यू बेटा। ओके, so this basically brings us to the end of our first session. So beta English is okay, समझ में आ गई?
बट वी रिक्वेस्ट सर
Yes.
Yes, sir. Well understood, sir.
थोड़ा सा हिंदी बोलेंगे तो थोड़ा ज्यादा बेटर है सर,
Uh,
क्योंकि वो बात आपकी सही है सर, ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज मतलब वो वाली बात बोल रहे हैं ना आपकी क्लास का जो फॉर्मेट है, बट ऐसे नहीं है सर, अदर कैप्टन पूरा हिंदी में बोलते पूरा लेक्चर।
बेटा मैं तुम्हें दो चीजें सिखाऊंगा, एक नहीं, चार्ट वर्क नहीं, दो चीजें सिखाऊंगा। ओके, एक तो चार्ट वर्क सिखाऊंगा और दूसरा इसमें जो जो भी इंग्लिश के वर्ड्स आएंगे उनको भी सिखाऊंगा।
ठीक है सर।
ओके, तो पहले इंग्लिश में बोलूंगा और फिर जो जो वर्ड्स डिफिकल्ट होंगे उनको हिंदी में भी समझाऊंगा। ओके, तुम्हारे लिए डबल बेनिफिट है।
ओके सर जी।
ओके, ऑल राइट। सो ठीक है बेटा, गुड, ग्रेट फर्स्ट सेशन। सी यू गाइज इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन देन, टिल देन बाय बाय।
बाय बाय सर।
Thank you, sir.
ओके बाय बाय।
ओके सर,
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू बेटा, बाय बाय।